The Remains of the Day is a novel by Kazuo Ishiguro, published in 1989. It is a thought-provoking and poignant work that delves into the life of Stevens, an English butler, as he reflects on his past and contemplates the meaning of dignity and servitude. Here's a summary of the book with key themes. Summary. Set in post-World War II England, the novel is narrated by Mr. Stevens, a butler who has dedicated his life to serving Lord Darlington, a prominent figure on the political stage. As the novel opens, Stevens receives a letter from Miss Kenton, a former colleague, who expresses her desire to return to Darlington Hall. This letter prompts Stevens to reflect on his life and the choices he has made. The story takes place during a road trip that Stevens embarks on to visit Miss Kenton, who is now married and living in the countryside. During the journey, Stevens recalls his years of service at Darlington Hall and the events that transpired. Lord Darlington, whom Stevens deeply respects, becomes involved in political activities in the years leading up to World War II, including appeasement efforts with Nazi Germany. Stevens, in his loyalty to Lord Darlington, supports his employer's controversial views and actions. Throughout the road trip, Stevens reflects on his interactions with Lord Darlington, the professional relationship he had with Miss Kenton, and the sacrifices he made in the name of his duty as a butler. The novel explores the tension between personal sacrifice and professional duty and the impact of such devotion on one's personal life. As Stevens reaches his destination, he learns that Miss Kenton has found happiness in her marriage and family life. The novel closes with Stevens contemplating the possibility of personal happiness and the role of dignity in one's life. Key themes. Duty and loyalty. The theme of duty and loyalty is central to the novel, as Stevens grapples with the sacrifices he has made in the name of his service and devotion to Lord Darlington. Regret and missed opportunities. Regret is a recurring theme, as Stevens reflects on the missed opportunities for personal happiness and connection in favor of professional duty. Class and social hierarchy. The novel explores the rigid class structure and social hierarchy in post-war England, particularly in the context of service and nobility. Dignity. Dignity is a prominent theme, as Stevens contemplates the role of dignity in one's life and how it is intertwined with his profession as a butler. Memory and nostalgia. The novel delves into the power of memory and nostalgia, as Stevens reminisces about his past and revisits the memories of his time at Darlington Hall. Personal versus professional identity. The novel examines the conflict between one's personal identity and professional role, as Stevens grapples with the choices he has made in his life. Politics and morality. The political events of the era, particularly Lord Darlington's involvement in appeasement efforts, serve as a backdrop for the novel and raise questions about morality in the face of political expediency. Love and relationships. The theme of love and human relationships is explored through the complex dynamics between Stevens, Miss Kenton, and Lord Darlington. Self-reflection. The novel emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and introspection as Stevens re-evaluates his life's choices during his road trip. Memory and distortion. The novel underscores how memory can be subjective and distorted, as Stevens revisits his past and acknowledges the selective nature of his recollections. Loss and grief. The characters, especially Stevens and Miss Kenton, experience loss and grief in different ways, which are central themes in the novel. The decline of the British aristocracy. The novel reflects the decline of the British aristocracy and the changing social and political landscape in post-war England. Dehumanization. The theme of dehumanization is explored through the depiction of a rigid class structure and the devaluation of personal desires and emotions in favor of professional duty. Personal growth and change. Stevens' journey symbolizes the potential for personal growth and change, as he grapples with the realization of missed opportunities and lost time. Emotional repression. The characters in the novel, particularly Stevens, grapple with emotional repression and the consequences of concealing their feelings. National identity. The novel touches on the question of national identity and patriotism, particularly in the context of Lord Darlington's political activities. The Remains of the Day is a beautifully written novel that delves into the inner thoughts and emotions of its protagonist, Mr. Stevens, as he reflects on his life and service. It explores themes of duty, dignity, and personal sacrifice, making it a compelling exploration of human nature and the complexities of life's choices.